Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 3rd of October now, huh? I guess say October. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And it's still fun that it was you guys last night. Some guys, it always makes me happy whenever it's 150 maxers, OGs, etc., who are winning. A couple of guys I talked to afterwards who, it's their first big win, so that's great. But I think 5 out of 8 of them are known sharks because it means that being a shark means something, right? Like these are the guys who all the time were enjoying their tilts because they're on the right stuff. We think they're on the right stuff. We think we're playing the right game, with the subtext of their tilts. And so it's kind of confirming that bias, right? Or yeah, that is what it is. But it feels good to know that all this game theory we talk about all the time really turns into practice. And I mean, it's not tough. You check the bank account. Let me get Haywood Highsmith on screen. I got a bank account with a lot more money in it because of that. It's not hard to check that it works once it works. But before it works, it's always nice to see the results like that. Like I was probably grinding at a reasonable volume for 3 months, 4 months before I had a big $10,000 hit. So, it'll happen. But it's good. I'm happy for the guys. Solid lineup, good principles, and fun overall slate. Let's have another one tomorrow. I got a few in the big tournament, and I wanted to go back over last Saturday, I think it was, because it's a 4-gamer. So a 4-gamer is particularly weird. This is going to be a particularly unusual 4-gamer tomorrow for the first day of the playoffs, right? Because we're going to not have starters for the last 2 games for sure. Probably only the first game when the first game starts, but also we kind of know the starters. It's the playoffs, so they're going to play the best guys. Maybe the very bottom of the order, not 100% sure, but for the most part, enough that you can set lineups in the morning now and be reasonably sure. Yeah, actually, all right. Yeah, I thought these were the lineups. This is from the past. So I'm reviewing to see whether the settings that I was thinking natively are appropriate or too broad. So I was thinking about, should it be $500 of wiggle room or $1,000 of wiggle room for, I think I'm going to run 20 tonight. Yeah, probably run 20. So, or tomorrow. Overall lineups, maybe I'll pair it. Yeah, I probably won't run 20 in the big dollar tournament. I probably run 10, 5, something that seems positive. I want my most positive ROI lineups to have more behind them on ROI principles. You want to put more money behind your best horse. But anyway, so enough of silly, structuring of your competitions. We probably should make another video on that now that I think about it. But I looked and I checked my settings, and if you do $500, all but 2 of the top 20 are captured, and the other 2 are captured by 1,000. So it depends on how your risk tolerance. I'm probably gonna stick with 500 over 1,000 because that captures so much of the. I think that constrains the phase space in a reasonable way. At this stage in the MLB season, we're super, super, super efficient. DraftKings has a guy that's like me on their end who's making sure that everybody's priced right. And it's been long enough in the MLB season. We're not getting crazy values. Also, it's the playoffs, so no hitters are going to be like wild values. We may have the situation. Where are these games? None of them are in fun like no Cincinnati games, no Colorado games. It's just a bunch of baseball games. We got reasonably good pitchers who are playoff level, wild card level, but game 1 pitcher level. So you're going to get 4 runs, 5 runs, a couple home runs here and there, and you hope to get lucky with it, right? So, but settings, these are our settings. If I not actually click build yet, oh, that's too bad. Let me actually click build just to see where the optimizer gets to, because I did set some constraints. I thought I had the lineups there, but that's okay. I wasn't going to show you the lineups anyway. I just did want to say, so I've pared down the pitchers. I think the only ones in play are Gausman, Luzardo, Burns, Glasnow, Lopez, and Wheeler. I haven't said quite all of the pitchers. There are 2 additional pitchers you could go to if you're playing 150. Probably should get some fat in there if you're doing 150, just because he's another cheap option like Luzardo, who really does have upside. Milwaukee's not that good, but he's not that good either. And the leashes are short. So that's the other thing. So leashes are very short on pitchers in the postseason. There are only 3 games in these wild card playoffs. These teams have more than 3 starters. Like there are going to be some starter level people who are not expected to pitch in this series who are ready to go, right? And so you're not going to see Fat out there struggling. You're going to see he gives up a run, guy on base, boom, he's out. Whatever the next guy is coming in. I don't know. Probably not Bumgarner. I haven't paid attention to what's going on with the Diamondbacks this year. That might be funny. But yeah, some long reliever coming in for them. But yeah, these other guys, if you got a gut call, go with it. Gausman's obviously the best. The reason Gausman's obviously the best is not that he is projecting for the most on SaberSim. It is that Milwaukee has the most, or Minnesota is the worst at strikeouts in the major leagues. 10 strikeouts a game. So I might even boost some great ads there. I probably got to get a better website for some of these sources. Some hilarious ads popping up. Okay, geez, I'm not even screening those. So these are not no endorsements implied by my use of websites or random things that pop up on screen. I just noticed it. Okay, but let's see. Yeah, so I think I'm going to goose him even a little bit more. He's got by far the most upside. Toronto doesn't have other great options. I mean, I just said obviously anybody can get pulled, but I think he's got the most upside of guys who have upside. So 80% is a bit much. I'll be at 70, 75. I just have to react, have some level of my gut call. Wow, don't want that much Burns at all. 50's enough. And he's not even that value guy. Yeah, I'll take 40 him and like 50 Luzardo is where I was thinking I'd get to max. I know this is a thrilling radio for you guys listening to the podcast. Always good to have you here. Also, at this point, I suppose I can fill time by saying, please like, comment, subscribe, depending on the platform you're most comfortable with. I always do really appreciate the engagement. That was really awesome yesterday. Yeah, Sully, or I confused a couple of these guys who have bro and in their names, but I got a really nice retweet or quote tweet from one of the OGs who I'm always posting about anyway. And yeah, I'm like trying to learn from and stuff. And so it was really nice for him to say, hey, you guys should go listen to this guy for NFL. And so, this is the MLB show. And really what I'd like you to listen to me for is for the game theory, right? Like the only thing I really know ball about is basketball. The rest of these things I know game theory about. I've played, like I can show you the roto track or whatever for the various sports. The ones I'm willing to talk to you about, I'm positive on. I don't need the edge. I don't feel like there's just so many possibilities for a baseball slate, right? That like we're not going to wind up on the same lineups when I tell you to play Gausman, Luzardo, and Burns, and whatever stacks I'm going to tell you to play in a second. But my stack leans are not going to be like, we're not going to be that much on any stack. 40% probably is going to be my limit on any given stack, just because like it's the Wild West out there. Who knows what game pops off? Also, like I just said, it's not really even popping off, right? This is the playoffs. Games are not going to go, I mean, hopefully. I hope no game goes wildly and crazy and it's like with the best pitchers winds up being 12-2 or whatever. Anyway, so probably you're going to be, when your stack goes off here, what you need is the 3 guys who hit a home run in the game, the 4 guys who hit a home run in a game or whatever. So yeah, I can think of those guys on those teams there. So Philly, Toronto, and Texas all have a bunch of bashers. I think that makes a bunch of sense. And yeah, we'll stick with that. So we'll see also tomorrow. We don't have weather like factors and stuff yet. So I'll update on the thread if we have any updates tomorrow for weather. Like if I boost, one of my favorite things to do with this current version of SaberSim is to change the projection of runs, because then the way it changes, the way it samples its own sims is amazing. It takes like a subset of the ensemble and creates a new ensemble, which if you're a super big nerd and loves statistical physics is awesome. And like, I wish I could do that with like statistical physics, visualizations and stuff. So maybe get SaberSim over into the physics realm. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing physics. Nobody's listening to these videos about physics. So anyway, great to have you guys, and we'll see you again for game 2. Not sure when that slate will be for baseball, but getting to be the end of the season. These are probably going to be mostly NFL and NBA videos coming in the future. So yeah, and a lot of showdowns. That's what I like the most, is uniqueness in showdowns. That's where I feel like people have different goals, and some people are trying to build their bankrolls and stuff. And as a result, most people are in that phase. And as a result, there's a big opportunity for people who aren't just trying to build their bankrolls, but are trying to build their number of houses or whatever, like trying to level up, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. And hopefully what you're trying to do, you're using leftover money you're comfortable gambling with, and you're trying to level up, like to go, I have this house here, and legitimately why I'm trying to win $1 million, really a couple 100,000, whatever, is to buy a condo in Austin. I would like to go there too. I'd like to have multiple houses. I'm not gonna tell you where in Austin, but Austin's cool. I like Los Angeles, but these are fun places to be. And have fun things like that. And when you win, don't freaking gamble it away, guys. That's problem gambling. Do not do problem gambling. When you have the big hits, number one, set aside a bunch for taxes. Number two, go have freaking fun for a long time and stop like sitting at your computer, right? Like you can keep winning money on the freaking beach, double check the gambling laws and connectivity issues, whatever. But have fun, because that's part of it, right? Like I'll forward. No, we're gonna do probably Monday Night Football video. Yeah, maybe I'll do the I had a couple of these early videos in my so I'll put the playlist here of my big picture series so you can see like allocation, bankroll management style, contest selection, how you set up your council of dudes, like the whole process. But then there's also the mental process. So that's an important video, but you don't get that to like the 6th video. But take care of yourself, man. Like that's first order of business. You can't be out here like fidgety making decisions. None of these guys are winning a bunch of money being problem gamblers. We're out here having, okay, there are definitely guys who are making decisions that are sorry, there are 150 maxers who are definitely making bad decisions a lot. It's not true that there are no 150 maxers who are problem gamblers. I should definitely walk that back. But you can learn from a lot of them as long as you're careful what you're learning, and that it seems like it's paying off a fair amount for those guys. Yeah. So this rant at the end has got weird and long, but my general point remains: you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, every night somebody's got to win that money. And hey, first night in the playoffs, they got some serious money up top for baseball. Let's get it.